Hello, Edwin. This is the Two Artists podcast, and we're happy to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about your art, and we can get into it.
Hello. Good morning. Name's Edwin, born and raised in Puerto Rico. Been living here in the States for only 7 years. As it pertains to art, it's been my favorite creative outlet ever since I can remember. And for the past, I want to say 10 years, I've been specializing mostly on surrealism, some abstract art here and there. But mostly, I aim for that psychedelic feel, if you may. I want to say the past year or so, past 3-5 years, I've been embracing more portraits, various people, celebrities, friends, or just random people from Instagram that I just say, hey, I like this picture. I would like to, try to paint it. And yeah, that's has been so far what pertains to my art.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have dabbled a bit into the world of surrealism. I like automatic drawing. That's a fun surrealist technique. I even tried the what Dali would do, where he had a spoon in his hand, and then when he went to bed, or like when he fell asleep, the spoon would fall and wake him up, and so the dreams would be fresh in his mind. So I tried that, and it's a really trippy feeling, man. It woke me up, and I was just, I just, I'm an artist, so I wanted to say that I did it, and I did. So, but that's great. I like psychedelic rock, like Tame Impala and Pink Floyd, and so I'm all for this translation to visual mediums. How have you honed your craft? In other words, what has gotten you to the point where you are right now? What have the various evolutions looked like? How have they shaped you as an artist? Sorry, I'm just throwing all these questions at you, but feel free to free associate, right?
Oh, that's pretty neat. I haven't tried that technique myself as far as the spoon technique, but I definitely will, because then again, dreams are one of the main precursors or inspirations for my artwork. Especially because ever since I'm a kid, I had very vivid lucid dreams, so I always try to portray that kind of magic feel to my surrealism pieces and so forth. And yeah, and when it comes to like surrealism, automatic drawing, freehand art, I love it especially because I don't know, man. It's a raw depiction of what your soul contains, if that makes sense. Just a matter of, and I always describe it this way whenever people ask me where I get my inspiration from when it comes to like my trippy artwork and all that. My answer always will be, I don't really plan it. I don't really plan what I'm gonna draw. I don't really plan what I'm gonna paint. I just take the materials and I let the hand do the talking. And my main rule when it comes to art is, even if I'm not liking how a drawing is looking and all that, trust the process. I have to finish everything I start. Even if the end result at the end of the day is not satisfactory or not really what I was aiming for, it doesn't matter. But what I do like is the fact that it's a raw depiction of everything I'm holding inside my subconscious. So yeah. And when it comes to what has taken to like hone my art, well, mainly life experiences, trauma, the good, the bad, the pretty, the ugly. My battles with mental health ever since I was a kid. My experiences dealing with psychedelics. My dreams, as I mentioned earlier. I tried to mix all of that into my artwork, put my heart and soul into my artwork just so that I can portray all of that. And I don't settle for one style. If I'm being quite honest, I always try to like challenge myself and keep trying new styles, different techniques, use different materials, and I always use whatever I have at hand, even if it means using office supplies like a highlighter or a Sharpie marker, or if I have a ballpoint pen, that I'll use a ballpoint pen. Anything and everything I can put my hands on, I'm gonna throw it in there and try to make the best out of it. And quite honestly, if you go into my socials, I always call myself an amateur artist, mainly because, well, besides the fact that I'm self-taught, I have a very vague idea of how, color theory works, or all these things that seem to be like essential for art. I have a very vague idea, and I try to, do my best with it and learn more about it, different techniques. But yeah, I just tried to make the best I can with the little I have. And if I feel that I'm running in a rut, I try to challenge myself always to do like a new, different type of art style, a new challenge, and so on and forth.
I like the mention of the lucid dreaming. Would you say that lucid dreaming is something, because I've had one lucid dream in my whole life, and it was like really cool. I could feel, it was like it was real, but I could tell that my eyes were closed, so it was like crazy. I know that there's all these methods or whatever to promote lucid dreaming, like I don't know, writing down your like dream journals and stuff, or there's all kinds of like, I don't know, look at your hand and there's 5 fingers or whatever, and you train yourself in waking life, waking reality, and then when you are dreaming, it's like, okay, these kinds of rituals or whatever. But I got really interested in it, and then I had one, and it was kind of just like something I crossed off the bucket list. However, I am wildly envious that that these are recurring for you, because I know how cool they are. Let's see. So yeah, that was pretty much, what grabbed my interest there. But you said a lot of interesting things. Where do you see yourself going in the future? You said that you're an amateur artist. Would you like to stay an amateur artist? Would you like one day to do it full time? I know the art world is extremely competitive and gate kept.
Yeah, no, man, it is quite the stuff. It's very interesting how lucid dreams can work, and I love it. It's a chance to live in a completely adverse, different reality that you have complete control of. Anything, but not to be redundant, but anything that you can dream of, you can make it happen in a dream. And I love it. And I think ever since I was a kid, I had very vivid dreams, which they felt very real, but I wouldn't really have much control over. So at a point in my life, I started to practice to, catch myself in a dream and say, hey, I'm dreaming, like this is not real. And that's how I started slowly yet steady, getting more and more lucid dreams. So now, to the point that now it's the standard. And yeah, it's a huge inspiration for most, if not all, my artwork. Um, and absolutely, man. I honestly, the dream for me, I want to be full time. I want to do art full time. It's my biggest dream ever since I can remember. And I wish I would have been more consistent when I was younger. Because, like I said, I've been doing art since forever. But, growing up, I grew up with this idea that, artists starve, and it's hard to make it in the art world, which is not necessarily a lie, but there's more nuance to it. So the way I always approached it is, I'm gonna work full time doing whatever I can put my hands on, and then I'm gonna have art as a side hustle or as a hobby. And right now I'm in the side hustle stage where I'm slowly and steady trying to build my platform. But the main goal, my north is to make it big, and not necessarily be famous. Just make enough so that I can quit my day job and comfortably live off my art. And it is very competitive, and there are so many amazing artists out there, man. And I don't know about you, and I think this is a very common feel amongst artists. That imposter syndrome feeling where you feel that it doesn't matter how good you get at doing art. It seems everybody's just better at it. Then you're just like, faking your way through it. That's at least how I feel with my art. Not that I feel that it's bad by any means, but yeah, it is very competitive. But I'm definitely aiming to make it my full-time gig.